My son got this board from our neighbor because he wanted to learn how to skateboard. There were some other boys that were there that were doing it easily. So I said, hey, why don't you go talk to those boys and ask them how they're doing it? He's like, I don't want to talk to anybody about this. This is embarrassing. I just figured it out on my own. I said, no, you got to ask somebody. That I can't help you. So he went and talked to these strangers that looked like they lived there. And they said, all you have to do, if you really want to try it, lean forward. You cannot lean back, can you? What happens if you lean back? Flip back, hit your head. They said you have to lean forward all the way in. You have to be all in 100%. You have to commit fully to what you're doing. You cannot hold back at all. I found this to be a fascinating lesson from a couple of 11-year-olds teaching my son. So my son at the top of this, he stood there for an hour and looked at it. This is scary. And he stood there and he looked at it and he could feel the crunchiness of the board underneath him, that it felt like it was going to fall apart. And he looked up at me and goes, hey, Dad, if I do this, can we go get a custom board? And I said, yeah, if you do that. I mean, if you're committing to this sport, he's like, I want to be a skateboarder. I was like, all right, if you do this, we'll go get you a board. He went down and he went zoom and he did not fall. He hopped off the board and he was like, yeah, I did it. He ran back up. He did it again. He ran back up. He did it again. Now he came up and he could almost get up to the top. The next thing I knew, we're at the skateboard shop getting a custom board. Maybe there's somebody who has that skill set that you could be like, hey, you know, I hand the baton off to you. I handed the baton to those little boys who taught my son better than me.